Are you a football fan? Have you ever found yourself wondering, what in the world was that ref thinking? Well, Mike D, the referee, is here to help you. Join me on Whistle Talk as I talk to professionals on the field and in the booth to help you understand what is going on inside the mind of a football official. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Whistle Talk. Mike D, the referee, coming at you again from nice, wintry New Jersey here. We just went through a little bit of a heat wave here in early January, and now we're back to our January weather. So enjoying our off-season stuff. Got going on tonight, something that's going to be a little near and dear to my heart, a little offensive line round table, talking some rules and some different things with a couple O-linemen and O-line coaches. But before we dive into our topic, I got to give my podcasting spiel here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying the show, hit those like buttons, hit those subscribe buttons, hit a follow, shoot me a comment, give me a thumbs up, a thumbs down. I really don't care. Just give some type of comment if you don't mind. If you're listening to this in the car, we'll wait till you get to where you ever have to go. I don't want anybody getting into no accidents listening to me and trying to put on some comments or anything like that. But it does help get some exposure for the podcast, getting the word out there, trying to find some more football officials to keep this awesome game going. So if you could give a little quick thumbs up, I would truly appreciate it. And tonight we're going to go back. We got some video going on tonight. So if you're enjoying it and you want to take a look at the video, shoot over to the YouTube page. You could search it up at Mike D, the referee. My YouTube page is youtube.com at Mike D, the referee, so you can find that there. And other than that, man, we're here to talk some football tonight, talk some rules, talk some O-line stuff. Got some pretty cool guests coming on tonight. Couple of former players, or current players, I should rephrase that. Some current players that are still involved in the awesome sport. And a pretty good O-line coach joining us from, I'm complaining about the weather here in New Jersey. He's joining us from some Milwaukee. Any beers tonight, Coach?
Nah, not tonight. It's a school night.
No Brewers? Yeah, same.
Nah.
Same. I just got my nice glass of water.
Yeah.
So let's start off. Coach Shiffman, thank you for joining us. I'll start off with you if you want to introduce yourself, where you're coming from.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Coach Shiffman, longtime offensive line coach. Been coaching now. I think this is going to be just finished 19 years. We're up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So we're enjoying the cold, and like you talked about before, I'm enjoying the victory Monday as a Bears fan over the Packers. So it's a good day all around for me.
Yeah, what a game that was! What a game!
Yes.
Coach, I think you have a podcast and some websites and things like that.
I do. So we
plugs in.
Yeah, we do. So the Hog Football Chat, which is tonight at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then I do one of my COVID projects that's kind of taken over since 2020. I do the Hog Football Podcast, where I kind of talk to not just offensive line coaches, but all football coaches about kind of anything football related, and try to get those episodes out usually Tuesdays or Wednesdays. I got one coming out this week. I gotta do my editing a little bit still, so kind of behind the eight ball with the holidays and everything. But yeah, so take a look, take a listen, all that fun stuff, and yeah.
Nice, good stuff. And yeah, go to those sites and give the thumbs up there too, and give the comments too there. So working around my screen, how it's all set up here. To my top left, I've got Joey Spina. Joey is joining us from my hometown here and down in New Jersey. He's representing his school right there with Southern. Joey, I don't know if you can see over my head. I got a Southern helmet sitting back there, so I got to represent that a little bit. So. Joe, introduce yourself, where you're coming from, what you got going on next year, and different things like that, your primary position.
All right. My name is Joey Spina. I'm the captain of Southern Regionals football team. I play center, D tackle, and long snapper for them. I'm planning on going to either Ursinus, Stevenson, or TCNJ to play football next year.
You guys had a pretty good year this year, huh?
Yeah, pretty good. I like to say one of the best in school history.
Very nice. You could say it. You were a main reason for it, so say it proud.
Yeah.
And last but not least, gosh, I can't even speak again. Last but not least, Zachary
How's it going?
Zachary Nina.
Nina. Yeah.
Got it. I've mispronounced it 3 times before. So Zach Nina is joining us. Zach is a freshman in college, but Zach also had the pleasure of graduating from one of the high schools that I used to teach at and used to coach at way back in the day. Zach, what's going on, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Whoa, sorry. I'm a first year at Farley Dickinson. I play primarily guard, left side, personally. But everything's been great.
Zach, if I recall, you also had a pretty good senior year, your last year at high school too, huh?
Yeah, I made it to the semifinal of the playoffs. Unfortunately, we lost to Millville. Great team though, but had Alabama committed Lazir Brooks, so I would say that was a tough loss.
Yeah, I had Millville this year in their final game of the season against Winslow Township in a state playoff game, and they ended up on the wrong side of the score that particular day. But the Winslow team, Coach, I don't know if you're familiar with New Jersey football, but the Winslow team was by far the best public school this year in New Jersey.
Okay.
They played against IMG Academy and Bergen Catholic, the two
Okay.
powerhouses from across the country.
Yep.
And they opened up with IMG, and I want to say it was like 34-17 was the final of that game with IMG coming out, but they represented well, and then they battled with Bergen Catholic too. So two powerhouse national programs right there, and Winslow was able to hang with them, and they got a couple of big time recruits coming out of their program. 2 wide receivers going, I don't even know, but yeah, Lazir Brooks, who went to Millville. He's a bit of a stud down in Alabama, so some good football going on around here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, purpose, like I mentioned before, guys, that I asked you guys to come on is I want to talk some rules with you, and I know the offensive linemen. The only time we kind of get recognition, and I say we because I'm a former offensive line and O-line coach, is a lot of the times the only time we get the recognition is when that yellow hanky is on the ground and all of a sudden you're getting called for a holding penalty or something like that. That's the only time your number ever gets called out by the PA system, not because of a long touchdown or anything like that. They're all cheering for the running backs or receivers and quarterbacks, but we all know where it started from as offensive linemen. But I want to talk some rules with you guys here tonight, and some technique stuff. So, Coach, I actually want to start off with you. When it comes to your coaching style and different things like that, are rules ever brought into, like, the practice idea? Like, do you talk about different penalties and different things? And not only that, do you talk about different ways that you can kind of cheat and get away with it?
Yeah, I mean, we always kind of try to talk through the basics of things as a group, as a whole team. Talk about like line of scrimmage and making sure if you're covered up or uncovered and alignment and things of that nature. As an offensive line coach, I always talk about kind of where guys should be putting their hands as to not get penalties. We always talk about where they can, where they put their hands in a certain spot, they're more likely to get a penalty. So I'm really big on that, especially with the hand placement. But other than that, I kind of just let it happen organically a little bit. I've always been a part of really good programs and all over America where we have good officials who before the season starts we'll have a scrimmage or we'll have something where guys will come in and do a good job and tell the kids about kind of the new rules, the new points of emphasis for that season, explain some things, talk through certain situations and scenarios if they have questions. So we've always been pretty lucky with having that kind of deal with officials. But I don't get too deep in the weeds. Like I said, I kind of let that stuff happen organically as the season goes along, or as penalties might happen. We can talk through it and go through what they did wrong or what they could have done better.
Okay. So Zach, I'm gonna pivot to you now. In your first year of college, playing college football, how was it with your offensive line coach? I know you said there's a bit of a transition going on from this past season to this season, but do you guys talk about, like, does the coach go over, like, okay, that's a penalty, or doing this, that, and the other thing?
It's kind of like, I would say, throughout the lesson, he'll point it out, but it's more just the fundamentals. He wants to make sure you're doing the basics right, because if you know the basics, then we can work on other things. But if there is a blatant call, they will say you're probably not gonna get with that in the game, but mostly they'll slide in practice. But you just gotta make mental notes, and hopefully you gotta fix it from the mental notes.
All right, Joe, same thing to you.
Yeah, usually we just get called lazy in practice if we start holding. Like, our coaches are like, keep moving your feet, get your hands inside. If you're not doing that, you're just being lazy. That's our motto at practice.
I don't disagree with them, though.
No.
I got to say the majority of holding penalties are typically because your feet have stopped and all of a sudden you're getting grabby instead of running your hands. So, but yeah, I could definitely see your coaches saying that. I've seen a couple of them in action. So, good guys, but they make you chuckle every once in a while. So I'm going to share here my screen if I figure out how the heck to do this. There we go. And I'm going to go over some O-line stuff here. So I got my little PowerPoint, my Google slide here for the O-line round table. So got a couple questions for everybody. Here we go. All right. Zach, what makes a player ineligible or eligible to catch a forward pass in high school or college football? I'll give
I want
it
to say the number.
Yeah, that's gonna be the primary one. Is gonna be the number eligibility. So we gotta make sure. Now at high school, we cannot call somebody eligible. You cannot check in at, like in the college or in the pro level where 78 and you'll see the referee wiping his vest and going like that. But your number is going to be the first thing that we're going to look for. Automatically ineligible, 50 through 79 is an ineligible number. So that's gonna be your first target there. Joe, do you know anything else?
Not really. I know someone's got to be on the ball, someone's got to be off the ball. That's about it.
Well, Joe, you said you're a center, right?
Yeah.
Do you have people on either side of you that are up on the line of scrimmage with you?
Yeah.
So are you covered up?
Yeah.
So you are ineligible, my friend, because you are covered up in that aspect. So, Coach Shiffman, how about you?
I'm trying to think now. This is terrible. Those were the first two I was thinking about. You can't have the jersey number. Can't be covered up.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I was gonna say that's pretty. I don't know if there's anything else.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
All right, Joey, start with you. How many players must you have on the line of scrimmage for a legal offensive formation?
Wait, let me count in my head. I'm gonna say 7.
How many guys you got on the field?
11.
So that means 4 guys are in the backfield?
No, I mean 6. Wait. No. 6.
Don't
6.
change
6.
things on question you.
No, now I'm thinking now. So you got quarterback, running back, tight end could be tight end's on the line most of the time in my offense. I'm gonna keep with 7. I'm gonna stick with 7.
You would be correct, my friend. You would be correct.
Perfect.
Don't overthink this.
Don't second guess yourself, Joe. Don't second guess yourself.
Listen, it's the biggest crux that we have is ourselves, is overcomplicating a very simple sport. I mean, nobody's reinventing the wheel these days. Everybody's still running power and counter. It's just window dressing. So don't overthink it. All right, Zach, I'm going back to you here. What is the rule for blocking downfield on a pass? When are you allowed to start blocking downfield on a pass? And I know it changes a little bit in the college game from the high school game, but how far beyond the line of scrimmage can you be on a pass play?
I want to say maybe it's between the 3 to 5 yard range.
I wish.
Yeah, a little bit less than that.
Yeah. No, is you can go nothing.
High school rules, we're going 2 yards.
Two
And
yards.
it's gonna be a gracious 2 yards because there's a lot of different variables that come with it. But the big ones now are going to be your RPOs and your screen game. So we got to make sure that if it's a screen game and the ball is caught behind the line of scrimmage, you can be blocking. You could be
Yeah.
downfield blocking. It's the RPO game now when the ball is going beyond the line of scrimmage. You get a 2 yard grace period until you could start blocking in that scenario.
That's way off.
All right. Let's see. When would an eligible receiver downfield penalty be called? Coach Shiffman, when can I drop my hanky on that one?
If there's a somebody that's been covered up, again more than 2 yards downfield when the ball is thrown, and that can be a receiver, a lineman, anybody that's been covered up. If it's an unbalanced formation, if it's an exotic formation, if anybody's covered up and they're downfield more than 2 yards, they can be flagged for an eligible receiver downfield.
All right, Coach Shiffman, I got a second part of this question for you, the coach. You got we're gonna just say it's a play action pass.
Yep.
Because offensive linemen on play action are typically going to be faking a run block, but in the high school level, some kids think that it's a run play.
Right.
And all of a sudden, that offensive lineman is 6-7 yards downfield trying to hunt down a safety, and, well, they're not blocking anybody. So now the quarterback is scrambling all over the place, and they're going from the left side to the right side. And that lineman turns around and says, oh, shit, we're passing. And they scramble back, and they get back behind the line of scrimmage, and now the ball is thrown. They were 7 yards at one point, but when the ball was thrown, they're now at the line of scrimmage. Do we got a legal man downfield?
No.
Correct. It's
Yeah.
got to be when the ball is thrown. So
Right.
At that point in time, we are good. And we've seen those before.
Yes, I've been a part of those before. I've seen that live with teams I've been coaching before, where it's hilarious on film. I don't know if these guys have ever done it, but they're kind of like, I don't know if I've ever gotten 7 yards downfield, but I've gotten 4 yards downfield, and they kind of, you see them on film look around and kind of throw their hands up and start to backpedal to make sure they get back. So,
Yep.
and then on the flip side of that, I've had a 60-yard pass play called back because our right tackle was 15 yards downfield, lost in not knowing what to do on the play. So it happens both ways.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, me being the umpire in the middle of the field and having somebody running past me, and I'm standing at about 9 yards away from the line of scrimmage, and somebody's going past me, and all of a sudden I see the ball going through the air. I'm like, ew, that's not right.
Right.
All right, here's the last one. Joe, what's a hold?
Getting your hands outside, and when a defender trying to make a move past you, and it's just like you're just grabbing onto the outside of his shoulder pads.
Zach, what do you think a hold is?
When you're preventing a player from like being able to like make a tackle, I want to say, or like just his movement impact the player's movement. That's my answer.
All right, yeah, good save, because I'm going to say, as an offensive lineman, we're always trying to prevent that person from making the tackle. Coach, what do you think a hold is?
I actually like what Zach just said. I think you're keeping a player from disengaging a block to go make a play or make a tackle or whatever. So I like the terminology he used.
So I want to give you guys from my perspective as an umpire, because this is one of my primary calls. And I got to preface this by also stating that in my years of playing high school and college football, 0 holding penalties in my career. Now, I can't say I didn't have a false start here and there, but I never got called for holding in my lifetime because I knew the rules. Oh, we lost Joey. He'll be back on.
I'm sure, yeah.
So there's a couple things that I'm looking for before I throw that flag, and the way you guys described it was pretty good, but I got to break it down into categories, because I got to be able to go over to the sideline. If I throw a flag on Zach and Coach Shiffman's on the sideline saying, what the heck did he do? I need to be able to go over in good conscience and say, Coach, this is what Zach did. That's why it got called. Because if I can't do that, I can't throw the flag. If I can't go over there and give a solid explanation of what I saw, and this goes for any flag that I throw, well, then I'm not going to throw that flag. So we break it down into 3 categories. And before we even get into the categories, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't throw many flags for holding. I'm one of the few umpires that I'm going to tell you I'm going to give not the egregious fouls, but it's got to impact the play. So if it's not at the point of the attack and it's not going to impact the play, I'm going to give that kid a talking to rather than a flag because it didn't hurt anybody. So I got a couple clips here of what we break down to, but here's the rules for holding. According to the NFHS, the offensive player shall not use hands, arms, legs, which I've never seen, to hook, lock, clamp, grasp, encircle, or hold in effort to restrain the opponent. So, Zach, you did a really good job with your description there. And defensively now, a defensive player shall not use their hands or arms to hook, lock, clamp. I guess you could use your legs as a defensive player. I never thought of that, but you can as an offensive player. So go with the figure 4 leg lock in order to restrain the opponent other than the runner. So it's very rare that we're going to see defensive holding, but I have thrown it from the umpire position. And I know you get it more so on the outside with the DBs and stuff like that, holding on to receivers and things like that. But his internet's Joe's texting me. But here's your signal and your penalty enforcement. We got 10-yard penalty, and we're gonna skip this slide. We'll come back to it, but here's what we're looking for. Here's my categories. First one's going to be a grab and restrict. I need to be able to say in my head that was a grab and restrict, that the player extended their arms across their body to pull back and restricted the opponent. The exception is if the defender makes no effort to get off the offensive players with their hands inside. Coach Shiffman, have you seen, I'm being held, and their arms are up on the defensive side? Have you ever seen that one before?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Guess what? They may be getting held. I'm not throwing it. If you're not making any effort to get off that block, that's on you. Give me something, and I'll drop it at that point. Zach, have you ever done that, being a defensive lineman back in the day?
I'm trying to think. I don't really, maybe once, but I feel like my coach might have told me that.
Yeah.
He's put like effort to show like he's holding, but I didn't really play a lot of defense when I was younger. When I was older, and then I got hurt playing defense, and then I stopped.
It's good. You're on the right side of the ball now. So.
Yeah.
I got a question for you.
Go
before you go into clips, talk about, and this is kind of probably along the same lines of what you were just saying. Say Zach's blocking me, and puts me on the ground and then lays on me. Are same rules? Are you throwing a flag, or are you throwing a flag only if I make an effort to try to get up off the ground?
So I'm typically not going to throw the flag because by the time if he is laying on top of you, the play is probably past you, so you're not making a play from there.
Okay.
But I'm getting in Zach's ear and I'm giving him a talk to, and I'm first of all I got to continue officiating the play.
Sure.
So you'll hear me following the ball, screaming backwards, "Get off him! Let him up! Let him up! Get off him!" Because that technically is a hold. And I have thrown it once because it was really egregious, and the play ended up coming all the way back, where now the defender could have gotten back into the play.
Right.
But yeah, it's when it's not at the point of the attack like that, I'm probably not going to throw it. I'm going to err on it, and I like to do a lot of preventative officiating, so I like to do a lot more talking to. So in that one, I'm probably going to let slide in the scenario you broke down.
Okay.
So here is a clip of a grab and restrict foul. So hopefully it's not choppy on your guys' end. You'll see it's going to be the center here. So, Joe, this is you. Not really, Joey. But I'll bring it back here. So you're going to see, and I don't have the ability to go slow-mo with this clip here, but you're going to see the center kind of gets cross-faced right there, and now you're seeing the left arm reach out, and it's right at the point of the attack. We got a little wing T action coming back inside with Oh, they're actually not even doing a true counter flow with it, but it's just more of a reverse type field type of play. But you can see the left arm coming across the body, grabbing and restricting, and this is a play where I'm seeing cloth now being pulled, and I'm seeing that D lineman's shoulders kind of get pulled backwards because that restriction that's going on right there. So that's going to be a grab and restrict foul, and that's going to be 10 yards from the previous spot right there. You guys good with that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've done that before.
You don't ever admit to it. Did you not hear me before, Joe? I never got called for holding before in my life. Actually, not making that up. I never did get called for holding. I'm lucky like that. All right, so my second category that I'm going through my head is a hook with a restrain or a turn. Player reaches across the body, pulls, restricting the player from moving towards the play. So I got 2 clips on this one. And I'm going to let you guys figure out which one was the penalty and which one's not going to get called. Can you guys see the screen clearly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to focus on the left tackle here. So left tackle, we got an empty formation, QB, keeper. Well, this one's kind of an easy one for you guys to figure out if it's a foul or not, because my man in the backfield, their umpire's in the backfield where this is. He gives just a little flick of the wrist with his flag right there. But you got the hook going on there. I'm going to play it once more. So the arm kind of gets wrapped around.
Yeah, right there.
On the inside, gets wrapped around them, and now you got the hook. Are you guys able to see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a second category that I'm going to be looking for. Got another hook. So the left guard here, I'm sorry, the center. So focus here on the center. See him circled there. Got a nose tackle on him. Defensive lineman goes left. You see that hook? Right about right there. See that hook? Well,
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to throw that one. I'm probably not going to throw that one because looking at it, so for the people that are only listening, you got a sniffer that comes back here. So you got an H-back sniffer right here behind basically the right guard, right tackle in that B gap. And they're running some type of, I'm assuming it's going to be power. Yeah, we got a little skip pull coming out there. And the nose tackle goes to the pulling guard side. So automatically he's kind of running himself out of that play. Does the center hook him? Yeah. But this kid's not going to impact the play just on his initial movement. This is going to be another talking to. I'm going to tell that center, hey, get those hands inside, work those hands inside, just watch it. But I'm not going to throw that flag on that one just because of where the defensive lineman went. The defensive lineman was looking and trying to fight back and cross-face the center. Now I might drop the hanky. But because they continue to go upfield, they're basically running themselves out of that play. So I'm probably going to keep that flag in my pocket. So just, again, giving you guys, so you guys learn my point of view and a lot of officials' point of view. That's one I'm probably not going to throw in, and that's the reason why, because of the initial movement. But still, you're going to hear it. Work the hands back inside. Get the hands inside. Hey, 59, I think was the number of the center there. 77. Get the hands inside. Work them inside. So I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it loud enough because I'm on the defensive side of the ball. I'm going to say it loud enough so that the nose tackle hears me say it, and they understand, okay, he saw it. He's not calling that, and then play on from there. No. You guys got any questions on that one?
Nope.
Coach, if you were a D-line coach, would you be okay with that non-call?
Yeah, probably, as long as it's hard to tell on film, as long as there wasn't a tug of the shoulder pads late or after. I'm not. I also have been around football long enough that, and I know, 99% of the plays, there's a hold happening. It's just part of the game. So as long as there's not like an egregious yank down or pull down or something like that, I'm not gonna complain too much.
Well, now you've got that yank down and pull down. And this one, I don't know, Coach, if you've seen it more, but I'm seeing it more and more often at the high school level going on, is the takedown play, where a lot of guys are grabbing the shoulder pads and yanking them.
The snatch,
ground.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, and I'm sure you're probably seeing it, and I don't know if you guys work it, Joe and Zach, but I think the ones that there's kids that see it on like social media and try it, and they're not good at it. And that those are the ones that are typically the holding penalties, is because they're not good at it. I think on my perspective, it's a totally legal play, but they're not good at it, so that it is more of a straight pull instead of a snatch down.
So, walk me through how you're teaching it, Coach.
I don't teach it because I'm not good at it, so I don't teach it.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
but I got a clip here of it, and this one is one that I would call.
It's when you get it's when you get the over aggressive defensive lineman and you're using their momentum, and so that's kind of what it is most. I mean, you know that, you guys know that, so that's where you get it from. But yeah.
So you can see here on this one, and this one's already in slow motion. We're looking at the left guard here. He gets a nice pass set, has a nice two-handed punch. They're engaged with each other, but now he starts feeling that pressure, and now with still hands inside, so he's good there, so there's not a hold there, but now having the hands inside, and now he's restraining and pulling that guy to the ground. Now he's putting himself in danger of getting that flag dropped on him. Because the only reason I might not throw it is because the ball was released. That's going to be my only talking to at that point, because when it happens, the ball is pretty much out of the quarterback's hands, so that player wasn't making the play at that point in time. So again, I'm looking for it to be somebody that impacts the play at the point of the attack. Those are two things that I'm looking for. But then I've got those three criteria where if I go to the sideline and say, Coach, your kid took him down, Coach, we had a grab and restrict, or Coach, we had a hook, I can go there in full confidence and make that call to the coach and explain to them what I saw. If I don't get those, I'm not dropping it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's part of our video. That's it for my video presentation tonight. So let me stop sharing that. All right. Close that puppy out. So, with that being said now, I want to talk to you guys about just rules in general and different things that you may feel are not advantageous for offensive linemen. So, Joe, I want to start with you. Are there any rules that you think make it harder to be an offensive lineman than it already is?
I'm not really sure. I think it definitely is a hard position, but I don't think there's any rules that really restrict us to the point. I mean, maybe if the illegal man downfield, because let's face it, if I'm killing a kid on the inside and I go 3 yards down the field and I pancake him, I get up, I celebrate a little bit, and I look and there's a flag there for being a legal man downfield, I'm gonna be a little angry. But that's really the only thing that I can think of.
You got to tell the quarterback to get rid of the ball, man. And Joe, I'll be honest with you, I'm probably giving you that one. I'm probably not going to throw the flag on that one. If you're engaged with the person and driving them downfield, as long as your engagement started at the line of scrimmage, I'm probably going to give you that one. It's when you're going downfield and you engage with that linebacker a couple of yards downfield, yeah. I'm probably not going to give you that one per se.
I had one play, it was like a sprint out, and I drove the kid like 5 yards downfield, pancaked him, and I realized, oh crap, it's a pass play. And I got up and I looked around, made sure ref didn't see it, and I ran back.
Exactly. Never happened. Zach, how about you? Is there anything that you don't like on the rules side?
Can't really think of anything on the top of my head right now. I don't know. I think I got nothing.
Coach, how about you?
I like what Joe said. Just, and again, a lot of that too is like, it's benefit of the doubt, right? For you as an official, it's hard to explain to a 16 or 17-year-old, hey, I know what you were trying to do. Here's why I didn't throw it. I know for me, from my perspective, and I don't know if Zach's a little too young and Joe's going to be too young, but from the college level of things, it's a penalty now. I love it to be able to see linemen cut in space again. I think there's a lot of, there's those rules where the defensive lineman can't submarine a puller anymore, and I think they still get away with that a lot. So I'd love to be able to see linemen combat that. But as far as penalties, I don't, the illegal man downfield, I think is a tough one. I as far as holding penalties, I mean, I can complain a little bit. I really dislike when a kid gets pancaked on a legal block and gets called for holding because he pancaked the kid. I've seen that happen a little bit, but there's so much action in our little yard of combat, right? So it's tough for officials. I definitely am not envious of you and your job having to watch the O-line, D-line, because there is so much stuff that just goes on every play.
And I think that's where my background, being an offensive lineman and being a former coach, I think it kind of helps me a little bit because I'm also a teacher, so I know how to talk to high school kids. And
Mm-hmm.
I know, what shit I'm going to take and what I'm not going to take. So remember that, fellas, on how you speak with the officials. No, they're all valid points, and I agree with you. And just so everybody here knows, illegal man downfield is typically not going to be my call as an umpire.
Mm-hmm.
Illegal man downfield is going to be called by usually the guys on the sidelines. The short wings are going to make that call. And it's probably one of the most difficult calls for them to make because, as mentioned before, it's when the ball was released.
Mm-hmm.
Were you beyond 2 yards when the ball was released? So they're looking out of their peripheral vision at where the quarterback is. They're also responsible for interference. They're also responsible for the tackles or the tight ends on the end of the line of scrimmage on if they're holding. So their eyes need to go in 3 separate directions. And I don't know if you guys have checked lately, but I only have 2 eyes. And they're both, for me, going in the same direction, let alone in 3 different directions. So it's got to be a solid 3 yards, 4 yards. Like, it's got to be pretty egregious. And a term that we like to use is if there's smoke. So if we see an RPO team, we know that the team runs a lot of RPOs, and it's a very slow ride and decide by the quarterback, or it's a bobbled snap, or something is quirky in the backfield that's normally not there, that could be the smoke saying, all right, now I need to check to see where the lineman was. But to see when the ball was released, where the lineman was, that's a 10-yard space that they're trying to look, plus trying to keep an eye on the end of the line of scrimmage for holding penalties because they've got a better view of those tackles than I do from the middle of the field. It's a lot going on. So it's got to be pretty egregious for the illegal man downfield to be called. And I give the short wings a lot of credit because they got a lot of stuff on their plate. You got illegal formations, false starts, motions, this, that, and the other thing. So they got a lot of things going on. Plus, they are right in the earshot of the coaches. So they're getting the full earful of the coaches screaming and yelling at them for every play, on top of all the other responsibilities that they got going on. So, Joe, what's the worst penalty that you've ever been called?
I honestly think it was probably just holding. There was one time I got called for a holding when apparently I was playing tackle on the edge, and I got called for a holding penalty because the ref came over to my coach and said it was number 58, and my coach freaked out. He was like, "That's our freaking center. What are you talking about, left tackle?"
Oh, you're that good.
Another one was I almost got called for taunting, and the flag came out because the kid got in my face. I put my hands up and was still talking a little bit. And I got pulled away by one of my teammates, and then my offensive coordinator was yelling at me because there was a flag on the field. He thought it was on me. Turned out our running back pointed up in the air and got the touchdown called back. So it wasn't on me, but it was pretty darn close.
You had points taken off the board?
Yeah. Yeah, our running back pointed up in the air, and then it was like there was another penalty on defense for something, and it offset, and then we had to restart the play.
I was going to say, because
So
taunting penalty is going to be enforced as a dead ball, so the touchdown will
Yeah.
not count. But our offsetting, that's unfortunately a different
Yeah.
story. So yeah, that's going to pull the points off the board. Zach, how about you? What was the worst penalty you had?
Well, I would say it was a holding, but it was just the situation. It was my senior year, and I would say I don't think I had a call penalty all year. It was the playoffs, and we were coming back against Toms River South, and we were inside the 15, and we ran a halfback draw. I was playing center at the time, and I was pushing them downfield, and I didn't notice my running back on my left. So and he was trying to like run away from me, so I was impacting his movement. And then I just jumped on him. He fell. I jumped on him, and then I looked to my left, and I just see the flag right next to me on him. I'm like, it was for the game-winning score, and then it was panic from there.
Yeah. Well, here's my question for you from the official standpoint. If you would have done that in the first quarter, would there have been a flag?
I wouldn't think so, because it's more of a balanced game. But now since it was a game-winning score, I think they're throwing that flag 100%.
So I'm going to tell you from my perspective, if I'm not throwing it in the first quarter, I'm not throwing it in the fourth quarter. I want to be consistent throughout, and that's one thing I think Coach is shaking his head. He wants the consistency. If it wasn't a hold in the first quarter and I couldn't nip it in the bud then, well, I've kind of set the precedence myself as the official that I'm not going to call it at that point in time. Unless it's super egregious in the scenario that you're talking about, I'm going to have to keep my flag tucked, because one thing I've learned is that flags fuck up games. That's coming from my white hat. That's his quote. So excuse my language out there. Coach, how about you? What are some of the worst calls that you've been a part of, either as a player or as a coach?
I was going to try to think. It's been a long time since I was a player. I can tell you one time that I didn't get called for a penalty as a player. I was playing left guard in college versus Grinnell, a small D3 school in Iowa, and I was playing left guard versus a 3 technique, and he shot inside the A gap, and I wasn't a very good player. And I jumped. I mean, when I tell you, and I'm not, this is no joke. I jumped on his back and tackled him, and did not get called for a hold. And I got up and I was looking around, looking for the flag, and I was just like, "All right, let's go, next play." So that was a non-penalty I didn't get. As far as flags, I mean, if I'm going to get a flag as a coach, I'm going to earn it. It's going to be, and you young guys might not know what I mean by that, but like, it's going to be a warranted situation where I'm protecting a kid, or I'm standing up for something on our sideline. I did get the one flag that I've gotten that kind of irks me. We were playing our first game of the year, and we had a young center who snapped the ball over the quarterback's head, and I kind of, probably a little bit too loud, said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And the ref personal fouled me for that. And that one kind of pissed me off, because it wasn't at a ref, it wasn't at anybody, it was just to myself on the sideline. And so, but yeah, it's not something to be proud of, getting those penalties as a coach. But like I said, there's a few times that I've gone and said, I'm going to get a penalty right here because I'm going to lose my shit.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And I can accept that. And as an official, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to take a good majority of it.
Yeah.
You got to cross the line, and not the white line, but
right.
You got to cross the line, because being a former player, being a former coach, I understand the emotion that's involved in the game and what you're attempting to do. Have you ever been, as a coach, calmed down because of the demeanor of the official that you're yelling at?
Oh, 100%. I am very much when I'm if I'm an assistant. Let me preface this: if I'm an assistant coach, I don't talk to the referees. I am not.
Thank you.
I am not that guy. But if I'm a head coach, I'm going to try to talk to the referees. I want to know what the penalty was. I kind of like what you do. I want to know what and why, and so how we can fix it. There's on the flip side of that, there was one situation that our quarterback got he got sacked, and I've never seen this happen. I've never seen it happen up until. I've never seen it happen since. His face mask got pulled off of his helmet. Defender grabbed his face mask, pulled it off his helmet, and there was no flag thrown. And
just the face mask.
Yes, popped it off. Never seen it happen before. I called a timeout. I took the kid's helmet. I walked to the officials, and I said, "Do your effing job." And I got flagged. And so that was again not something I'm proud of, but again I'm going to stand up for our kids. But yeah, if there's a penalty that is a kind of a like a holding penalty or a pass interference or something, I want to know what the referee saw so that we can fix it as coaches and move on. And there's nothing that drives me crazy more than when the referees don't talk to you or don't tell you, and I always want to know, hey, what number was it on? Who do I need to talk to? And when there's that lack of communication, that makes us as coaches just it makes our blood boil.
So that's a great point, and I want to bring that to Zach and Joe. How much interaction are you guys doing as offensive linemen with the officials? Are you guys talking with the officials? Are the officials talking with you in the game situation? Joe, you're laughing. Why are you laughing?
Because I try to be nice. Because I know that there's a few times where I might be talking a little bit after the play, or because I know our playoff game, I was a little heated. There was a lot of animosity going into the game. So I kind of went in. I got my first pancake, said something to him on the ground, got up, walked away. Second pancake, same thing. Third, it was continuous, and he went to the ref and said something. So when the ref came to me in the huddle and said, "Next time I see you talk to him, it's flag, 15 yards." I don't want to get in trouble with my coach. So after that, I just started to ask, because it was a Halloween game. I started asking the kid if he liked candy, what candy he liked. Then I asked the ref if he was going trick or treating after this. He said, "I've got 2 kids. I gotta go trick or." I was like, whenever we played a hot game, I'd be like, "Oh, ref, I got some water on the sideline. You want some?" Just little things, just so maybe that personal foul doesn't come out of the ref's pocket.
Joe, you and I would get along really well, man. I do the same thing with officials now. I always try to butter them up and schmooze them and talk to them, and it's I think it sounds like you're genuine too with it, Joe. Like, I always like to ask you guys, like, "Hey, where are you guys at next week? Where were you guys last week? Like, how's your guys' season?" And you get sometimes, I'm sure you've probably gotten some referees that are just jerks. They're like, "Don't talk to me."
Yeah.
It's like, all right, man, whatever. Yeah. Like, it's just a game. But most refs are going to laugh at that stuff. Like, they like it. They get it.
Yeah.
I could count more times than not of how many times kids are saying, "Ref, why are you smiling? I love being in the game. Like, I'm having a good time. Like, it's game day. I'm having a good time. I'm focused. I'm doing my job. But I'm having it's football. Like, I'm Friday night. The band's playing. A good football game. I'm where else would I rather be but be in the middle of the field in a football game? So I like talking to the kids. I like talking to the offensive guys, the defensive guys. I typically have a better relationship with the defensive guys because I'm on that side of the ball more often. So I'm talking with them more. But, I mean, there was one time we had a clock issue, and the team broke the huddle, and they were out the ball, and I'm like, "Guys, hold up. And the band then starts playing Sweet Caroline. So I start singing. So I got the offensive line going, so good. And then I got the defensive. I'm like, I'm breaking the tension here, and I'm having some fun with the guys. And I like keeping it a little bit light but serious. So I do like to interact with the players. And how you're talking, Joe, I like that. Zach, what about you? Are you a talker? Are you more on the quiet side, being an O-lineman?
I would say it really takes me. I'm more on the quiet side, but if someone like if I have a trash talker and like, let's say like I just I pancake him or I just do something crazy, that's when I get fired up. Like like a nice like rivalry game. Like that would I'm always boiled for those. I remember I had a friend I played against. He would just chirp for me like one time. I just saw him and I thought about it in game and my blood just boiled off that. And then we scored. Went straight up to him. I'm like, yeah, yeah, what's up, what's up? But otherwise, I try to be quiet. My coach told me that just let me do the talking. Y'all play. Y'all handle it. So
I think my favorite trash talking method was the silent. Let me help you up.
That's a good
let
one.
me pick
Yeah.
you up. Hey, it's coming again. It's coming again. I actually went out on one play and I'm like, hey, we're running power again. I'm down blocking your ass because I had just pancaked them. So I told them it was coming and I whooped them again that play. And that was pretty much the extent of my trash talk. I wasn't a big trash talker per se in that aspect, but I enjoyed the game. Oh, we lost Tony. It was a bad internet night tonight going on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be jumping back on in a moment. All right, so being I got the two guys that are still playing the game, what's a chop block? Do you guys know what a chop block is?
A like a below the knee out of your stance. Just that's that. If I have to do it, that's how I'm taught to do it. Just come right out of your stance and just get in the guy's ankles.
Zach, what do you think a chop block is?
I would say the same thing. I guess like going below the knees, like, but like I feel like there's like certain like circumstances like for a chop block, like
Yep.
it's like for the like O line. I remember like if you're like on the line of scrimmage, there's like you can or can't chop block. It's like something. It's confusing with chop blocks.
So I want to help clear something up. So what you guys are describing is a straight cut block, not a
Oh,
chop block.
Okay.
Because a chop block is going to be illegal, and that's going to be a 15-yard penalty. A chop block is basically your high-low penalty, where you got one person engaged with the lineman, and another guy comes and cuts them. So that's where the chop block is going to come into play. And to give you guys an example, I had a game this past year. Coach is jumping back on, so there he is. We're having internet issues across the board tonight. Hopefully, it's not mine. But Coach Shiffman,
Sorry.
we're talking about.
Sorry.
That's okay. We're talking about what a chop block is. So let me ask you, what's your definition of a chop block?
A penalty chop block, like if I'm engaged with a player and someone else takes out his legs.
All right, Coach
Yeah.
has the experience. Yep, that's our high-low penalty.
Yeah.
So Zach and Joe were describing a cut block, and it's a big misconception that a lot of players have. Mr. Official, he chopped me. I'm like, no, he didn't chop you. He cut
Right.
you, and he did an initial and at the snap, Zach. So that's what you were talking about. It could be
Yeah.
from a 2-point stance now or a 3-point stance, but it has to be immediate, and you have to go low. So as long as it's there, and there's other criterias where the tackle box is, so you don't see it too often, as Coach was mentioning before, on the outside. But those are going to be the high school rules for it. But your chop block, as Coach was just saying, is going to be your high-low, where a guy is engaged and another guy comes and cuts him. And it's kind of I shouldn't say kind of. It's definitely gotten better as the years have progressed with the cut block rules changing, that it's kind of gotten away from the chop block penalties. But I did have one this year, and ironically, it was a triple option team. And it's an offense that I used to coach, true flex bone, triple option, and they're trying to slip past the nose tackle their read, I should say, and the backside guy was still doing an old school backside cut, and he took 2 steps with the center now posting on him, and he cut him. And the coach flipped out on me, Coach, like you were talking about, and I walked over, and I was very calm. I'm like, Coach, your center was engaged. He had his right hand engaged on him. Your backside guard came, and he went low, and he knocked him down. He's like, oh, okay. That's it. Because I was able to explain to him what I saw and why it was a foul, because from the sidelines, that's just a cut block. You're terrible. You don't know what you're calling. It was a cut block. Well, Coach and I were talking pregame about how I used to go down to the Naval Academy and clinic with the coaching staff at the Naval Academy, who at the time were the best team around running it. They went from Paul Johnson to Nia Matalolo. I could say his name, actually, unlike Zach. And I learned how to teach it the right way, and I knew it. And as soon as I saw it, I'm like, nope, not getting that one, because that one's a blown knee when done incorrectly. So that's why that one has to be called. All right, guys. So we're getting close to that hour time frame. So I want to put out one last question for all three of you, and I want you to be honest. You got a referee here on with you. If you could change one rule that affects you guys on the offensive line, if there's one thing that you could change, what would that call be? Positive or negative? Something that you would like to see, maybe a rule put into place to help you as an offensive lineman, or a rule that you just don't like? And Coach, I'm going to start off with you and kind of have an idea of which one you're going to go with here. But what rule change would you like to see?
Yeah, I'd like to see the cutting in space back out there. I think it's perceived as negative because people don't understand it, but it's a block that, when done correctly, isn't going to injure anybody. It's a great block for guys in space, and it kind of it levels the playing field when a lineman has to block a corner. So if I have to go block a corner and break my feet down and try to hit that guy, he's going to slip under me or out athletic me. But if I can drop down and roll into him and make him jump or make him take him down, it levels the playing field, like I said. So I'd love to be able to see that cut in space back a little bit more legal.
Is it out of the college game now too? I know
it's out of the college game. Yeah.
I know you can cut between the tackles and stuff like that, but yeah, and Joe and Zach, you guys are too young to remember this, because that was on our screen passes, especially on our X screen or our receiver screen, where the big lineman used to have to go out and, like Coach is talking about, and get that cornerback. I would literally just throw my body at him and make him have to try to avoid me, and my receiver knew, well, he was going to come underneath that block. So it was just something that we had, and like Coach says, well, I was not a good dancing bear with 150-pound DBs. I was a better dancing bear with a 300-pound defensive tackle. So it helped me out in that aspect. So yeah, it is definitely something that has changed. The negative to it, Coach, that I do want to come back to you with, is when you're talking with a high school level kid.
Oh yeah. Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, when you got a 15, 16, 17-year-old kid out there, and they're trying to do it, and some of the grass fields that we're still playing on here in Jersey, and some of that stuff, I've unfortunately seen the negative aspect of it. So
yeah, I should have specified. Yeah, I should have specified. Yeah,
no, that's fine. So Joe, I'm gonna go to you now. Same question. What rule change would you like to see as an O-lineman?
The number being ineligible receivers, because the amount of times that I asked my receiver coach in like a blowout win if I can get a fade ball, and he said you need a different jersey. I the entire season, every time we went up by 28 or more, I'd be like, "Yo, coach, like I'm ready. Like let's back up centers in, and give me a fade ball." He's like, "I can't. It'd be a penalty." I'm like, "Doesn't really matter. I mean, we're winning this game. It's fourth quarter. I mean, listen, I don't need to score. I just want to get the ball."
Yep. Yeah, I got in college. I got to play the hog tight end too, and I was 56, and I'm like, Coach, I can catch. And my last year playing, I actually tore the ligaments in my thumb, so I had a club on my hand. I'm like, Coach, let me slip out there. Nobody will expect it. My left hand is like Odell Beckham, baby. Like, throw the ball out there. I got that thing. Nobody will expect it with a big club on my hand, number 56. Just give me the shot. He wouldn't do it either. But yeah, Joe, you were better off saying, Coach, can you give me the ball on a dive?
Yeah, just get a handoff, man.
I did ask for that, and my running back coach kept saying yes, and just would never give me the ball.
That's the life of a lineman. But yeah, asking for a fade ball, they're not doing it.
No.
All right, Zach. Last but not least, what do you got?
Um, I would say the numbers too, but I feel like it's a little difficult at the O-line perspective. Like just having like a low number, but I do like it if like a tight end like I don't know in college like there's bigger guys, so like you could still run like a little tight end pop pass or something like that. But it would be cool if I could wear like another like a number 5. Like it would be cool once in a while.
You can. But the problem is the number 5 is usually cut in a small size jersey,
Yeah,
and you being an
yeah,
offensive lineman, it would be a very
yeah.
stretched out number 5.
Our jerseys are unfortunately very tight. I found that out the hard way.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, gents, I want to wrap it up tonight. I don't want to keep you guys on much longer. So I want to once again thank you guys for taking the time out of your schedules, home from college, waiting to I don't know, Joe, if you missed a sporting event over at the high school, and Coach, I know you got other things going on tonight. So, guys, I truly do appreciate you taking the time. If there's anything that I can do to help you guys out, if you ever have a rules question or something, shoot me a text or an email or something like that. I'm here to help, and I'm just trying to make the game. I want you guys never to know that I'm there after the game. I don't want you to ever remember me at the game. So that's my thought process as being a referee is I want you guys to remember the game, not the referee. So just keep that in the back of your mind that 99% of us are there for the right reasons. There is that 1%, unfortunately, that we're still working through. But
Yeah.
it goes with any person that's in a position of power. You got people that abuse that power. So with great power comes great responsibility. Spider-Man taught me that. But guys, I appreciate you taking the time. One last time, Coach, give a shout out to where people can find you and well, Joe and Zach, people can find you guys online now and on social media.
Unfortunately, I'm on Twitter far too much, so at Coach Shiffman, give me a follow. Hog Football Chat will be on Monday nights, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Always down to talk football, especially offensive linemen. So thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. This was great.
100%, absolutely. Zach, what is your handle, or where can people follow you or find you?
Instagram is Zachary Nina.
All right. Instagram seems to be the go-to. Joe, how about you?
Yeah, Instagram just Joe Spina.
All right. And you
Joe
guys
Spina 58. Yeah.
You guys can find me at Mike D the Referee. So that's my handle for pretty much all of my social media accounts. And I will have you guys tagged once I get this episode plugged and ready to rock and roll, guys. So once again, thank you guys. Good luck in your upcoming season. Joe, good luck with your college decision. Zach, good luck, new offensive coordinator. So hopefully puts you back at the left guard position and it gives you a lot of time to pull and get out there. And Coach, good luck in all the different endeavors you got rocking and rolling. Thank you, gents.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.